So let's solve this equation, f of x equals q of x. So we have to look at our table and find where f of x is. F of x is right here. F of x is equal to 5, so we'll put here 5. Equals q of x is right here, which is 3/4 x plus 5. So we'll put here 3/4 x plus 5. So this equation is telling us to find the value of x that makes these two equations equal. When are these two equations equal? What value of x make them equal to each other? So when we solve equations, we are going to use operations and their inverses. So the goal is to isolate the x, and to do that, we are going to undo some operations. So for example, to isolate the x, I need the plus 5 to disappear. So I need to undo the plus 5. So to undo the plus 5, we do subtract 5. So subtract 5 from the right side, and whatever I do to the right, I have to do to the left as well to keep the balance. So I will subtract 5 from the left side. So then I'll have here 5 minus 5 is 0 equals, I'll bring down the 3/4 x. And 5 minus 5 is also 0. So we are left with 0 equals 3/4 x. Okay, the goal is to get the x alone. So the meaning of this 3/4 x is 3/4 times x, or x times 3/4. So if we undo the times 3/4, the opposite or the inverse of times 3/4 is divide by 3/4. Okay. So we can divide both sides by 3/4. But when we divide by 3/4, that means dividing by 3/4 is also the same as multiplying by the reciprocal of 3/4. So maybe I'll write that down here so that we remember. Okay, dividing by 3/4 is the same as multiplying by 4/3. Okay, so I could also multiply by 4/3. And if I multiply the right side by 4/3, I have to multiply also the left side by 4/3. And then we just simplify. 4/3 times 0 is equal to 0. Any number multiplied to 0 is 0. And then we can do here 3 times 4 is 12. Over 4 times 3 is 12. And then the x. And then we can simplify this to 0 is equal to 12 over 12 is 1x. Now we found the value of x. There we go. Now, if you can find another way of solving it, that's good. I challenge you to try it a different way and see if you're gonna get the same answer. Now, what is the meaning of this answer? This means that when x is equal to 0, these two functions have the same value. Okay, let's show that. So let's check. What is the value of f of x when x is equal to 5? Or rather 0. So what is f of 0? If f of x is equal to 5, then f of 0 is equal to 5. And how about q of x? What is q of 0? Well, since q of x is equal to 3/4 x plus 5, then q of 0 is 3/4 times 0 plus 5. And therefore, we'll have here 3/4 times 0 is 0 plus 5 is equal to 5. So q of 0 is 5, f of 0 is 5. So that means when x equals 0, f of x and q of x have the same value, which is 5.